it was embarrassing to watch. It was one of the, he's not going to have another press conference, is he? That was it, isn't it? I don't see him ever having, I don't see him ever having another presser. I don't. It was an absolute disaster. It was a disaster, and there's so much cleanup that they have to do now. So much. And then, of course, yesterday, the filibuster, the removal of it, defeated the move that Democrats were making to nationalize elections. That's done. It's dead. So this was a disaster. Just an absolute disaster. There's just no way around it. And I tell you, too, it wasn't just this. It was him questioning the legitimacy of elections. Remember when that was like a bad thing? Talking about the delegitimization of our elections in this country. And everyone was saying Trump is undermining public faith in our elections. And he's, saying that. Well, what did Joe Biden do yesterday in front of the nation, in front of the world? So it's okay so to the left, they think it's okay if Biden questions elections, but not Trump. And that's the thing. Trump was always talking about ballots and the validity of ballots that were cast during the pandemic, when we were wondering, whether or not some of these ballots in these states that just completely, without going through their legislature, decided they weren't going to follow their state constitution anymore, regulating how voting took place so that the integrity of and legitimacy of the vote could be protected. Biden's just outright saying, well, unless you nationalize elections, I can't guarantee it could be illegitimate. Well, how was he elected without his voting rights bill then? If he thinks that without it, you're not legitimate, then how the hell were you elected? Thinking's not his strong suit. Good grief. No, here's the problem. Democrats have lost, they've lost the bigger narrative. And what was the bigger narrative? Biden was supposed to be the Trump antidote. He was supposed to be Mr. President McUnity. And he's not that at all. Now Biden was talking about the big lie. He's pushing it. He literally said, quote, "Oh yeah, I think it could easily be illegitimate. The increase in the prospect of being illegitimate is in proportion to not being able to get these reforms passed," end quote. They asked Kamala Harris if she thought it would be legitimate. And she said, quote, "Let's get these bills passed before we have that conversation," end quote. That was this morning. They're questioning it. Now, where do you hear all of these Democrats out there screeching? And it's not at all. It's okay just like it's okay for them to use the filibuster when they want to, and they use the filibuster to kill those sanctions against Russia. It's all right for them to use the filibuster. It's okay for them to question the legitimacy of elections.